A 6'9" forward from Louisiana State, number 24, Thomas. The man in the middle from Kansas, 6'8", number 20, number 90, Drew Gooden. A 6'3" guard from Memphis, number 1, Derrick. From Kansas and guard, 6'3", number 12, Derrick. The head coach for the Bulls is Vinny Del Negro. Assisted by Del Harris.
We're about set to go here at the United Center. The Bulls and the Mavericks. And the Bulls, I know, are anxious to get this underway. They're tired of looking at each other as the Mavericks have already played one preseason game. And there's a look at the brand new head coach of the Bulls, Vinny Del Negro. And Stacey and I will be talking about Vinny and some of the options he has, and as he tries to kind of wend his way through. Fortunately, he's got 8 preseason games to do that. And he's surrounded himself with a great staff, Stacey. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what Vinny comes up with. It'll be just a little bit different from what we've seen out of the Bulls the last couple of years.
Well, when we talk about preseason being important for some teams and not for others, this is very important for the Bulls to come out here and try to establish themselves and try to find where they're going to be this year. And I think, you know, he's going in the right direction. Very positive coach. We got a chance to talk to him. Very upbeat. And I think it's a change.
And Rick Carlisle, we got to look at him, one of the 8 new coaches in the NBA this season. New in the sense he's with a new team, the Dallas Mavericks. He has 30 postseason wins, and of the 8 new coaches, only Larry Brown with 100 has more wins in the postseason than Rick Carlisle. So, and here's a look at the Mavericks starting lineup. Jason Kidd, Antoine Wright, Josh Howard, Eric Dampier, and Dirk Nowitzki, who Stacey touched on, but you put Nowitzki with Jason Kidd, you got a pretty good combo. And Stacey, time for your Mitsubishi keys to the game.
Well, Neil, it's important that the Bulls establish an identity. This preseason is very important for them. And then also, I'd like to see them push the ball. I think Vinny likes to see him get out and run a little bit. You know, last season they had a lot of success running the ball, 23-13 when they scored 100 and more points. So I'd like to see more of that this year.
I would like to see you have more keys. I think you ought to have 8, 9, 10 keys.
You know what?
And that way, if something happens in the game that actually is one of the keys, I can say, Stacey, you're right.
It's like the lottery. You just, you know, you're just going to play a lot of
chances.
Yes, exactly, Neil. That's why you're my sidekick.
The officials tonight, Derek Stafford, John Goebel, and Zach Zarba. Dampier steps in with Drew Gooden, and we'll talk about the Bulls' injuries in a moment. And the tap won by Dallas. Nowitzki collared it and then handed it to Jason Kidd. Derrick Rose matched up with him. Nice assignment. Your first game as a rookie.
Well, this is a good assignment for him because they're going to see right away what he needs to work on as a pro guard in this league.
And that time over the top, it was Jason Kidd trying to feed Dampier just off the block on the right side. And the foul is on Drew Gooden, who's going to have his hands full size-wise with Dampier. Kidd, top of the key. Flip to the left side. Nowitzki lets him slide by. Kicks into him on the give and go and missed it. Short off the rim. Bulls on the run. Heinrich in traffic, and he lost the handle. Nowitzki the steal.
You can see early right there, Neil, they were trying to push the ball in transition.
It actually looked like they had Dallas back on their heels and weren't able to take advantage. Dampier, angled left, handed back to Kidd, raises up, dumped to Dampier. He missed one at point-blank range.
Well, the one thing you're going to see with this Mavericks team is a lot of pick and roll.
There's the lob from Rose to Thomas, and Tyrus just mishandled that. Good pass. Here's the drive. Nowitzki in a block foul as he barreled down the lane on the left side.
Well, here's this play right here. Derrick Rose got his eyes up. He sees Tyrus run the lane. And this is what the big guys must do this year when Derrick Rose has the ball in transition, because he will find you. You run hard, he'll find you.
And that's one way, I think, Stacey, that people talk about the lack of size that the Bulls have, but you can overcome that. If you can become a good running team, fill the wings, and create some advantage for yourself in break situations.
Well, we talk about it all the time. Defensive creating offensive opportunities. If they can get out and play the passing lane, get some missed shots and get into transition, they'll have a lot of success this year.
Pair of free throws, and Dallas on top, 2-0. Derrick Rose for Heinrich straight away at the top. Fan left, Dang. Heinrich, and they swing it back. Rose raises up and missed it short. And the rebound taken down by the Mavericks as Wright finds Kidd on the run, and he threw it away. And now here's the lob, and they tipped up try, won't go, but a foul called as Heinrich. Again, the Bulls pushed the ball right at Dallas and again had them back on their heels.
Well, you see the athletic ability of Derrick Rose being able to get out on the break, and here's Kirk right here finding him for the alley-oop. And there he is right there. He got pushed as he went up, but as you can see, the athletic ability of Derrick Rose, I mean, comes in with a 40-inch vertical, very explosive guard.
Now, people said, well, maybe he doesn't have enough size to be really effective, but he's got great leaping ability, and as you and I saw the other day at practice, I mean, he is fast and has 3 or 4 gears. When you think he's going top speed, he's still got another gear.
Well, I mean, when you look at a guy like Chris Paul, you know, he's not very big, but he's very fast. He gets to the basket. Tony Parker from San Antonio Spurs, he's able to offset his size by being able to use his quickness and being able to go 94 feet, which I think we'll see Derrick Rose as he matures into the guard. He'll be able to do that also.
Rose makes 1 of 2 from the line. It's 2-1 Dallas here in the early going. Nowitzki or Josh Howard. Dampier, little dribble handoff. Nowitzki backs into the lane. Kick out. Right, stutter step by Heinrich to the baseline, and the layup's good.
Basket by Antoine Wright.
Now 4-1, the Mavericks. Bulls had a couple of opportunities they missed. Here's Gooden, loads up a 16-footer and splashes it in.
Well, Neil, you saw right there, Derrick Rose was able to create that opportunity for Drew Gooden with his quickness.
Here's Dampier inside. They double him and then gunned out to Nowitzki. 20-foot on the rim short, and the rebound yanked down by Gooden and then gunned ahead to Luol. Dang slices in. Haynes fires, misses, and Kidd the rebound. Wright wanted Howard in the post, but shoved out of there by the wall. Swung to the right corner. Wright against Heinrich. And now Kidd against Rose. Baseline. Drops it off. Ball tipped away and stolen. Another turnover. On the run they come. Rose flies in. Gun back. Kirk for 3 and an out.
But they're getting good shots, man. I mean, just not knocking them down.
They had 2 on the break that didn't go, and a couple of open looks. Here's Howard, and he knocks one down. That's nothing but net left side 16-footer. Josh Howard.
Well, again, this is a veteran Dallas Maverick team that knows how to play. And right now, they're just using their experience on the young Bulls.
Heinrich for Gooden. Behind his back nicely to Rose. Gunned out to an open Tyrese Thomas, and he makes the 15-footer.
2 nice interior passes by Drew Gooden and Derrick Rose right there. Powers for a nice little 15-foot jump shot.
Right for Howard. Now Nowitzki. To Howard. Slices in. To Wright. Loads up a 3. Covered.
Well, that's one of the things last year that really gave the Bulls a lot of problems defending the 3-point line. And you saw right there with that dribble penetration. Wide open for a 3-point shot for Wright.
Heinrich, right side for Deng. Why is that? What's so tough about defending on the perimeter?
Well, you've got to help somebody on dribble penetration. There's a steal right there.
This is Howard running in, glides right on in and lays it home.
Well, again, it's just trying to help the helper. When you get caught trying to help someone out, it leaves a guy wide open. You know, guys are just going to have to move their feet and beat guys to the spot.
Rose, long jumper, misses short. Front of the rim is all, and Nowitzki to Kidd. Kidd looped down at the baseline, and that's blocked away from Wright by Heinrich. And here comes Derrick Rose, center of the floor. Rose shoveled back to Gooden. 18-footer in the air. That won't go, and the Bulls having a tough time knocking down shots here. Kidd, the lob inside, and dunked by Dampier with the left hand, a vicious slam on the baseline on the left side.
And see right there, you just saw he got too deep in transition. They were able to throw it over the top. for an easy dunk by Dampier.
13-5, the Mavericks, and Vinny Del Negro gets a timeout with 7:13 left to play in the first quarter.
Well, let's take a look at this play right here. Now, keep an eye right here in the paint and watch where this pass comes from Jason Kidd over the top with no backside help. Go ahead and roll it. Now, he gets in the post position right here in transition, and there's no one there to help Drew Gooden. An easy 2 points for Dampier. Now, in transition, when you see the big guy running like that with a guard like Jason Kidd, he will find you. And Dampier just ran and got in the paint, and they found him.
And you know what's interesting about that, Stacey, is that's kind of the way Vinny Del Negro, I think, would like to play, using the skills of Derrick Rose, and he can get his big guys. Now, obviously, they don't have Joakim Noah tonight, but if they can get the big people running with Derrick Rose, they're going to get looks like Dampier got there.
Exactly. I mean, when you see a kid like Derrick Rose who can push the ball in transition, if you're a big guy, if you saw him play last year in Memphis, he really made Joey Dorsey look like an all-star last year and got him drafted. So he will make you better.
Here's Rose, dribble drive, floats up a little hesitation shot and missed it, and the rebound ripped down by Dampier. Quickly ahead to Howard, and the Mavericks running more than they did a year ago. Under Avery Johnson, Kidd. Flip back to Wright on the perimeter now. Nowitzki, who hasn't really been involved a lot. And there's Wright as the defender fell down. He missed it short, and the rebound good.
There's good help right there by Derrick Rose. Kirk falls down. He comes over and helps him.
And Rose bounced one in the middle, ill-advised, and that's poked away and stolen. Howard on the run to Kidd to the trailer. Nowitzki, and the layup's good. And there isn't anybody better than that little touch pass than Jason Kidd.
Well, he loves to get out in transition. And it seemed like last year Avery kind of handcuffed him a little bit in the second half of the season. He's used to pushing the ball, and when he's able to do that, he makes the team better.
There's Stang, a running right-hander off balance, but he was bodied as he shot it, and he'll get to the free throw line. Josh Howard with a foul, his second.
Here it is right here in transition, and great find right there. Dirk Nowitzki just keeps running. And again, we talk about big guys running. The guards will reward you, and Jason Kidd is one of the best at that.
Rual settles in at the free throw line and misses his first try. And the Bulls actually practiced down here at the United Center yesterday, but having a tough time with these rims here in the early going.
Well, I think a lot of it's nervousness. It's their first preseason game. They've been
they're nervous because you're sitting here watching.
Exactly, Neil. You too. Bill Remington right there looking at us. Down on the other end of the table.
Do they have jobs?
You know what? I think they're just harassing.
Oh, what a pass by Kidd as he threaded one through the middle, and Josh Howard, the recipient of a little layup.
Well, they just know how to play. I mean, this is a veteran-laden ball club. They know where each other's going to be on the floor. You got a guard like Jason Kidd. He makes your job easier.
Dang slices in to Gooden and then back to Heinrich. Kirk angled left, and there's the foul out on the perimeter. As Wright fouls Heinrich. Third team foul, and it's 17-6. The Mavericks. 5:54 left to play here in the first quarter. Neil Funk with Stacey King at the United Center. Rose hooked back to Tyrus. Raises up the jumper. Again, Tyrus 2 for 2 as he knocked that in. Here's the lob again to Nowitzki, who just ran to the other end. He knocks Tyrus out of the way and then lays it in.
Well, you see Dirk Nowitzki right there realizing he had Tyrus Thomas on him. Immediately went right back to the post.
Rose, a little dribble handoff to Heinrich. Bobbing, weaving, firing, and scoring, and a foul. Bucket counts.
Nice strong move by Kirk. And that's what you got to get right now is get something going to the basket. Right here's Dirk right here. Realized Tyrus on him, backs him down. Might have been a little acting.
If you're going to flop, you better sell it better than that.
Well, here it is right here. Now Kirk going to the basket, splits the defense. And this is what we got to see right now is get something going to the basket. Relying a little bit too much on jump shots right now.
Kirk makes the free throw, completes the three-point play, and it's an 8-point Dallas lead and the ball. Wright, Howard, and now Kidd as they play catch on the perimeter. Wright knocked away by the wall, but picked right back up. Howard against Stang. Fights up a tough shot and missed it. The rebound, good.
Well, he had shot in his mind the whole time right there. With isolation play on Lou. Great job by keeping in front of him.
Here comes Rose outside to Thomas. Back inside to Dang. Blocked, but goaltending. Howard got there, slapped it on the glass, and goaltending the call.
That's good ball movement right there by the Bulls. Got a little motion going on.
Mavericks.
And the Mavericks now want to talk it over as the Bulls ride a 4-point swing.
Derrick is, he's young, obviously, so he's got, a lot to learn, but his work ethic and his desire to be and improve quickly has been great. He's absorbed things quickly on some of the things we're teaching, and he's got a lot of work to do, but he's willing to put the time in, and he's been great. So, everyone knows he's athletic. He can get the ball up and down the court well. So I know he's excited to obviously play in front of his hometown fans as well. So it should be a great night for him.
19-13, the Mavericks with the lead. Derrick Rose right now with a single point, but 3 assists in the game, and that total probably could have been higher if the Bulls had been able to finish.
Well, you see Nocioni now and Larry Hughes in the ball game.
And this is one of the things we're going to talk about as this game and the preseason moves forward, Stacy, and that's just exactly how Benny is going to use the players that he has. And there's a miss and then the rebound to Gooden. Gooden right now with 4 rebounds here in the quarter. And the Bulls an opportunity to creep even closer. Derrick Rose directing traffic. Gooden pops to the top. Rose off the dribble. Down the lane, trying to hook it off, and it's stolen away. Wright into traffic. Shot up and good. Tough shot.
Basket by Antoine Wright.
And here's Hughes. He was nearly swiped by Kidd, and then a whistle and a foul, and they're going to count the bucket. Hughes raised up as he heard the whistle. And Antoine Wright, the foul. A weird play, actually. Kidd almost stole it at the timeline, but he was able to spin away from him.
What's going to be interesting to see, we all know Larry has a lot of talent, and where these guards are going to fit in. There's so many guards that could do so many things for the Bulls. It's going to be interesting to see how they all fit into the role that Benny Del Negro wants them to play.
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Ben Gordon also not playing tonight. We mentioned Noah not playing, Ben Gordon not playing tonight, so there's another guard that's going to need minutes. And we all know that he's led the team in scoring the last 3 years, so he's been productive. But you have to find his minutes somewhere.
Well, the one thing I think of the constant is Derrick Rose is going to play. He's going to play. So where you're going to get minutes that 2 guards, like you got Tabo Cephalosha that we haven't talked about, is going to be vying for playing time. Larry Hughes, Big Gordon, that's a lot of guards.
And Nowitzki knocked one down at the other end, and the Mavericks with a steal lead past Dampier, and he viciously dunks again with the left hand. Or Dampier, the recipient of another good pass, and just pounded it down on the left side. The Bulls were creeping closer, now trailed by double digits, 25-15. Derrick outside to Larry Hughes. Now to Gooden. Corner, Noach. Back to Drew again. He fires over Nowitzki and scores. Nowitzki didn't too much ground that time, and Drew made him pay.
Well, Drew can hit that shot, that little 15 to 17-foot jump shot. He loves that shot. He can make it.
Kidd yo-yos at the top and then finds Wright slicing in. He goes up and bounces one off the heel of the rim and good.
Well, right now, once the Dallas Mavericks pass the ball, the Bulls defenders are kind of falling asleep a little bit and allow them to cut to the basket. You got to put a body on these guys because Dallas loves to run this motion game.
Dang. Right on the three-point line. Right side for Larry Hughes. Hughes streaks in, reverses one up, missed it, but a late whistle.
The foul is on Nowitzki.
Nowitzki, the foul. This is a Maverick team. We won't. Well, we're going to see Dallas again during the preseason. A little bit unusual that you'd see a Western Conference team 2 times pretty close together in the preseason. But this is a team that you would say, my gosh, they could challenge out west, really be good, but they're also a team that, if you go by last year, are in a decline.
Well, they kind of got away from their defensive principles last year. So, when you look at this team, Avery Johnson had them playing defense, and all of a sudden they just forgot how to play defense, and it really cost them down the stretch. But this is a very explosive ball club.
Yeah, they won 16 fewer games last year than they did the year before. That's a huge decline.
Well, and I think you're going to see Jason Kidd now having a full season.
There you go.
Being in training camp with his team. I think you're going to see this team get much better this year. And it'll be interesting to see how they pan out in the West, because there are very good teams in the West. And do not count out that Portland Trailblazer team in the West this year. I think they're going to be much better than what people think.
Nowitzki, a little rainbow, and then Hughes trying to answer at the other end, cannot. Mavericks push it again. Bounce to Derrick. Nowitzki to a driving right, and he got inside, was shoved from behind, and the foul is on Andres Nocioni. This Saturday, November 1st, when the Bulls host the Memphis Grizzlies, the Bulls and Verizon Wireless present Schedule Magnet Night. While supplies last, fans entering the United Center will receive a Bulls Schedule Magnet courtesy of Verizon Wireless. For tickets, 1-800-4-NBA-TIX or visit bulls.com. There you go.
Did you forget, Neil?
No, I was so used to it was an old old Bill Winnington deal.
Okay. You were trying to bring me into it. Okay.
I just wanted to see how quick you were, but you were napping.
I'm over here watching the game, pal.
I hear you. Here's Thabo Cephalosha, the aforementioned by Stacy. Will be vying, I think, not just for playing time, but might be vying for a starting slot just because of his size, if for no other reason.
Well, the one thing he did last year was when he got the opportunity to play, Neil, he was able to use his length and his arm reach out there on defense. I mean, he caused a lot of people problems. That's one thing where he's ahead of the game defensively. Now, again, he has to work on a shot. Last year he struggled shooting the ball from 15 to 17 feet. But I think he'll be better this year.
Jason Kidd pumped inside. Howard wheels and scores. And again, too easy. That was Kidd just to the top of the key and then pumped it inside. Gooden fakes a pass at Thabo and now backs in. Bounced out to Kirk. Right back to Gooden. The fall-away baseline. He stuck it. Gooden, a fall-away 15-footer baseline left with a minute left in the quarter. And here's Nocioni to steal and then lost it right back to Lorenzen Wright. And Nowitzki went down, gets up limping, but Rick Carlisle saw his star was in trouble and got a quick 20-second timeout.
And you can win tickets for you and your friends to the United Center's new Bud Light Legends Lounge. To enter, fill out the back of your Bud Light Legends Lounge.
Hoop fans, enjoy a great night of fast-paced NBA action and non-stop entertainment with the Bulls. Love it live. For tickets, visit bulls.com or call 1-800-4NBA-TIX for group discounts and many great extras. 312-455-4000.
Well, right now you're making me feeling like the Pips, and you're glad it's night. You know, you're singing a song and you're waiting for me to go. Yeah.
You're starting to get the picture, aren't you? You're starting it's all starting to clear up for you now.
I knew you were going to be a diva, but I didn't know it was going to be the first preseason game.
I just kind of want to get us off to a flying start. Now the 20 seconds. Yeah, you hate to see anybody go down, especially in a preseason game.
Well, Antoine Jamison the other night against the Mavericks went out with a knee injury.
Like they don't have enough problems.
Oh, and then Hayward has to get wrist surgery. He hurt his wrist.
And they've already got Arenas out, so good luck to him. Kidd, Nowitzki, little handoff. Bounce back. Nowitzki fall away. Missed it, curled out, and the rebound Gooden. Gooden with a big rebounding quarter here. 5 rebounds in the period. 33-21. Heinrich bounce to Gooden. They scissor off of him. Gooden fires, and as he went up, he was hand checked by Dampier. A silly foul. And a penalty situation, so Gooden will be at the free throw line to shoot a couple.
See, Drew with the beard, kind of trimmed it from last year.
There's a bunch of that going around. John Paxson's got one. You've got one. Johnny Kerr's got one. By the way, we'll hear from Johnny Kerr at halftime and again late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the goatee thing is going. You know, you don't have a lot of hair on top, so I can see why you're going to run it on the chin.
That would be correct.
But you didn't hear that from me. Yeah. Bill Winnington told me that. He told me to say that.
Right. Kid throws one to the rim and banked it in. Oh, my.
3-point field goal.
Wow. That was a lob that he threw a little hard. I mean, he was intending that for a teammate, and it kissed off the glass. Here's Heinrich, throwaway baseline short. Nowitzki yanks the rebound down quickly ahead. Kid throws it from the timeline, and it caroms off the clock. We've played one here at the United Center. The Mavericks in control. They lead by 14, 36-22.
Welcome back to the United Center. I'm Gail Fisher. Look who I found. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban. Mark, you're going nuts already. Standing up, yelling, cheering. It's the preseason. You have to pace yourself.
No, you have to support the guys. I mean, you know, this is the time when everybody comes together as a team. We've got a new coach, and everybody's getting excited about the new system. So any support I can give and let them know that they're looking great out there, that's what I'm going to do.
I know you're focused on the Mavericks right now, but last we heard you still are the leading bidder to buy the Chicago Cubs. Where is this process? They said the end of the season, now maybe the end of the year. What is the timetable?
I don't know. I mean, you know, anybody who's paid attention knows that the financial markets are kind of crazy right now. And so that's kind of made things just added some uncertainty to it. So it's still going to happen, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know where I stand. You know, it's not something they tell me, but, you know, it's something I'm still actively pursuing, so we'll see what happens.
Were you as shocked as the rest of Cub Nation to see them get swept in the playoffs for the second straight year?
I was in L.A. waiting to go. You know, I saw the game 2 here. I was in L.A. planning on going to the game Sunday. You know, I had every intention. I told our guys that, you know, the Cubs are supposed to play tonight, and so I probably miss a game. I'd come to Chicago, miss a game, and go to the Cubs game. So
now I have to wonder, does the value of the team go up or down now that they didn't win the World Series this year?
It's the Cubs, and it's Sam Zell selling them. The value never goes down.
All right, well, I know that you're here for the Mavericks, and you love your team. We all know that. But how exciting is Derrick Rose as he enters the league for his first season in the NBA?
Well, I mean, he's a point guard. He's incredibly talented. You can see him going up for alley-oops as a point guard, which is incredible. But, you know, he's a point guard, and it's tough to adjust in this league. So, you know, you've got some great coaches. Vinny Del Negro's been there. Del Harris is the master. We call him the professor. So not only does he have the talent, does he have the attitude, but you got some great people here that can teach him. And, you know, the sky's the limit for Derrick.
And I know for you, obviously, trying to pursue a championship, you could be like Jerry Reinsdorf, win an NBA championship, and then own a baseball team and hopefully win a World Series title.
Let's hope so. I'm all for that.
All right, I'll let you get back to watching the game. Thanks for the time. Guys, let's send it to you.
Okay, the game's over.
we already went to overtime.
Oh, my.
Oh, my goodness.
Right, but it is interesting to hear Mark Cuban. I would have actually gotten into more about the financial stuff.
Exactly.
Here's a drive and then a tip follow by a guy that I know you like and you thought was going to be key for them kind of returning to the top of the West.
That's Job. Oh, yeah. See, I thought he was a big reason why they had success going to the finals a couple seasons ago.
And here is Job fouling Tyrus Thomas, who missed a shot, rebounded his own miss, then pumped it up again, and called to the near side by Vinny Del Negro. And I think what Vinny's saying is you did a great job offensive rebounding your own miss, but then let's run something. And Tyrus tried to do it all on his own.
Well, as you said, Neil, he got a great second chance opportunity. Didn't have that shot immediately. Saw Job close out on him. Reset, post up, use his quickness.
Here comes Aaron Gray into the game for the first time as Tyrus makes the first free throw.
And I'm interested to see how he comes out and plays this year for the new coaching staff.
I know you were high on him last year.
You know, I thought last year, you know, giving him 15 to 20 minutes to see what he could do. Really didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but when he did play, he really gave them some inside presence.
38-25. Mavericks have been in control. They have gone to their bench. Kevin George or Jason Terry, a one-time starter on this team. Back to George, the veteran drives, spins it off the glass, missed it. The rebound snapped down by Larry Hughes. Hughes, stutter step move at the top of the key and then backs his dribble out. Hughes circling to his right, a bounce to Gray as he powered into the lane and an offensive foul.
Offensive foul call.
Sometimes it's not really the big fellas issue as much as where the ball is delivered to him and how it's delivered.
Well, I mean, you'd like to see Big Aaron go straight to the block right there, and they throw it inside and maybe work off of him. You know, you're not going to see Aaron on Dancing with the Stars anytime soon, but he's much more effective on the post.
Outside, yep, now George, he pump fakes and fires and missed that badly. That was wicked the way it came off to the left side. Heinrich the other way, dances back to the corner. Pounds a dribble back outside, now gave it up, looks and comes upstairs. Now drop out, Hughes trying to post up the small Derrick. Jumper no, great follow is good. Nicely done by Aaron.
And that's what he can do right there, Neil. Just hang around, use his size to get offensive rebound opportunities, and then give him a low post presence for the time that he's out there on the floor. If he can stay out of foul trouble.
And here's another young player in the game for Dallas that you like, and that's Bass.
Oh, he's instant energy off the bench.
Here's a drive job. That's blocked and defended well, but popped right back to Dallas. Here's Bass firing and missing. Tough shot, maybe ill-advised. Rebound to the Bulls, and on the run, Thabo. Cephalosha stripped and stolen by Terry, and they run the other way. Terry flies in, and the Jet lays it home.
Right there, Thabo getting too deep in penetration. Dallas is able to help. You saw Jason Terry just step in and steal the basketball.
40-27. Heinrich all the way along the baseline. Tyrus through traffic to Aaron Gray. Loaded up. Job blocked it. Loads up again. Scores. Boy, sometimes it does take him a while once he gathers himself, but that time he flipped it home the second time. Terry through traffic. Blocked, and then the dunk. The bucket counts by Bass. And again, it was Dallas just beating the Bulls back to the other end at the offensive end of play. 8:53 left. 42-29 Mavericks. And then he wasn't quick enough back up, but the little jump hook was a nice weapon for him last
well,
night.
he uses both hands very well. I mean, once he gets his inside position, what you'd like to see on that first play right there is just go up really strong and try to power that in and dunk it over Job.
Bass missed the free throw, and the Bulls bring it the other way. 42-29. Here is Tyrus Thomas, the fadeaway 15-footer. Missed that one, and the rebound called down by Jop. Ahead to Berea, down the lane, running right-hander no, tap no, rebound Jop. Back outside to Jason Cherry for three. That is too heavy, and the rebound tapped out by Larry Hughes. Knocked away by Terry, picked up by Cephalosha. And then to Thabo down the lane, stumbled around and lost it. And it's picked up by the Mavericks again. Bass, baseline, Woolmine.
Well, right now what you're seeing is Dallas is just playing with a lot more energy right now. And the Bulls have to come back and start really focusing, not turning the ball over. Taking a lot of jump shots right now.
44-29. There's another one of those, but this time it's good by Kirk Heinrich.
But now, right now, Neil, you've got to get back on defense and man up and not allow Dallas to back cut you and keep them in front of you. A lot of easy baskets by the Mavericks right now.
Now Bass straight away at the top. Defended by Thomas to Cherry, right on the line. Missed that. The rebound, Aaron Gray. Ahead to Thabo. 44-31. Thabo trying to feed it down to a grinning Larry Hughes, and the ball kicked and out of bounds. Here comes Derrick Rose back in. Heinrich will sit down.
And watch this athletic play right there by Brandon Bass. Goes baseline right by Tyrus. And it finishes with a powerful left-hand jam right here. Just gives up baseline. And this is the guy they really, really like. He came in last year, gave him a big boost off the bench. He had 17 in the first preseason game to tie Dirk Nowitzki for scoring honors.
Hughes inside, nice pass to Rose, and he's hammered. Nice look by Larry Hughes, and he found his running mate at guard Rose darting inside.
There's a good backdoor cut right there by Derrick Rose. And that's the element right there he brings. Not being very big, 6'3", but he's able to use his athleticism to finish and be able to get above the rim and get that shot off.
Enter the Chicago Bulls sweepstakes for a chance to win a 2009 Kia Borrego SUV or one of many other great prizes from United, Verizon Wireless, and Dick's Sporting Goods. Visit bulls.com Bulls.com. There you go. Fill out the entry form on the back of Bulls tickets or pocket schedules. It just saves me a word.
Well, I'm glad that you're giving me a bone, man. Thank you.
Okay. I won't go there yet. This is just game one. Second free throw by Derrick is good. 44-32, and despite the fact that they have been outplayed by Dallas to this point, not that huge a lead.
Well, again, it's the NBA. They make runs. The Bulls just have to tighten it up on the defensive end.
George, outside. Man, that's an air ball picked out of the air by Larry Hughes. Hughes with 3 rebounds off the bench. To Derrick Rose. Down the lane, the layup.
That's what he brings to the table. That's what he brings to the table. He's able to get off with that quick first step and explode to the basket.
And that forces Carlisle to take a timeout. A 10-point Dallas lead that was once much bigger. 6:38 left.
That's one thing he can do, is he can finish around the hoop.
Look at, Chicago Bear. 44-34. The Mavericks by 10, but that lead has dwindled just a little bit. The Bulls can turn it back into a close game. Here's Terry into the lane, and that's too easy. Just slid in there and flipped up a little teardrop.
He came off that single double screen right there. There was no help as he turned the corner.
Offensive foul call on Derrick Rose.
Yeah, Derrick Rose trying to set a screen, and young players, well, you see veterans do it too, moving as they not waiting.
And being a young player, you know they're going to call that on him.
Terry, the veteran, a drive and a dish. Bass, the baseline jumper, and he sticks it.
I'll tell you, Bass.
They got some depth. Terry in the backcourt. Here's Larry Hughes, spins a shot out, and the rebound tapped around. John tips it to himself. Maria motors, slides to his right, and then comes back to the top to set it up. Darts in, fires the jumper. That won't go, and the rebound taken down by Aaron Gray. Quickly ahead of Derrick. He bounces to Tabo. They leave him wide open. He missed it short. And those are the ones you got to make.
He came down wide in transition. You saw Derrick Rose, eyes open.
There's Larry Hughes inside. That won't go. Bread stabbed at it, knocked it free. Here comes Terry across the lane. Back outside, Devin George. Now Berea, long three.
He just stepped right in transition, wide open. Those didn't do a good job of getting back.
51-34. Dallas as they go on a little run. Luol Deng back into the game. Luol against Bass. And a whistle and an illegal defense call. Might have been on Devin George.
Technical foul on Jason Terry.
And here's watch Berea just wide open. Comes down in transition.
That was deep, but he had plenty of time to step into it.
He came and gave him some minutes last year. Some productive minutes off the bench. And he's a little player.
Well, the nice thing is they can use Terry at really at either position. They can play him at the point if they have to, or they can play him. I mean, he shoots it and he's enough of it. He's got that scorer's mentality. Play him at the other guard.
Well, again, you hit on the head. They got so much depth.
There's Hughes slicing in, and as he double clutch, drew a foul from Job. Now, right now, for the Bulls, Gooden with 7 to lead them in scoring. Heinrich's got 6 as we look again.
It's a nice pass right there by Derrick Rose, recognizing Larry Hughes coming off that single-double, curling into the lane, gives him a nice bounce pass.
He's got 3 assists, but could have more. Hoops fans, for an incredible deal on Bulls tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com/Bulls. Click on the Love It Live logo and enter the promo code LOVE. You can get great seats at an amazing price. Visit Ticketmaster.com/Bulls. You know, the way I read that, it made absolutely no sense. Even you look puzzled.
I had to
save that. I might have to read it again. Second free throw good. 51-37. With 4:44 left. Dallas out on the perimeter. Terry trying to shake, and now Bass, a fake and a whistle, and that's off the ball, I believe. Was it Jop being held? Fouls on Cedric Simmons. And I think he was holding the much bigger Jop.
Well, you saw Jop coming over there right off of the screen, try to get in position to post up in the heart of the lane. And Cedric Simmons just grabbed him. They called him.
Rip. As Bass, the step, and down the lane. Oh, my goodness. That was... He jackhammered that down with two hands. Under duress. Big time dunk by Bass.
That's
There's
a man.
Derrick Rose trying to penetrate.
That's a grown man right there.
Yeah. Woo! Boy, that was... There's Berea. He got going so fast he almost fell over. 53-37.
Well, again, Neil, you have to recognize where the scores are and who they are. You know Bass is going to get the ball. He's basically shot every time it's touched his hand. And you got Jason Terry out there, too, so you got to recognize where the scores are and who you can help off of.
Bass missed one, and the Bulls trying to take advantage. Dang, pump fake, fires over Bass, he scores. Luol Deng. Oh, Deng with 5 points in the game, 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. And the Mavericks go back to work. Terry shakes to his left, hangs, fires.
Right now it's just way too easy for the Mavericks on the offensive end.
Well, I think, you know, that's what part of this learning curve is going to be. Here's a drive, Rose inside, missed it short, and the rebound gobbled up by Bass. Here he comes again. Nice feed to Terry. Stop, pop, in and out, no good. And the rebound, Larry Hughes. Hughes now with 5 boards in the game. He's got 5, Gooden with 5. Deng into the lane. Turns, fires, and misses, but drew a foul, and he'll get to the line. And a timeout. What Fenny's trying to do at both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. And when you change from going, say, from one system here in Chicago to another team and another coach in a completely different system, sometimes it's difficult. It's still basketball, yeah, but it can be a little more difficult.
Well, right now what you're going to see, they should be a little bit better on the defensive end than the offensive end because, as you said, Neil, learning a new system. You know, defensively, they got to be able to close the lane down and really, help each other out because they are smaller. This is not a very big team, so they're going to have to be able to trap a little bit more. They're going to have to rotate a little faster, and they're going to have to help when there's mismatches on the floor.
First one by Luol, good. Missed the second, and Bass sails in for the rebound. Berea at the top against Derrick. Right side, Terry, jumper, bingo. Jason Terry, and that's, as Stacy pointed out a moment ago, a guy you identify as a scorer. He's going to look to score all the time.
Well, he's come in as a 2-guard, so with Berea at the point, he's able to really come off some screens and get wide open.
Well, there was a nice double team at the baseline by Dallas, and they steal the ball. Devin George, now Bass. Bass did a good job of keeping Luol in front of him, and then Berea just came down from the backside. Here's Berea, drive, spinning, shot off the back of the rim, and good. Nice drive by Berea.
I remember last year we thought he was the strength coach during the warm-ups, and he came out and put on a little show.
Outside, Rose, back to Luol. Now cross court, back to the point. Bounce to Rose, and he windmilled it off the bottom of the rim, and the rebound to Dallas. Berea comes at Luol, fires over it, missed that. Quick shot in transition. Thabo on the run. Thabo down the lane, driving it up good. That's what Finney wants to see.
And you saw right there, Neil, Jop was a little slow getting back on rotation, Tabo read it, went
again, fan to the left. Rose and Cephalosha play catch. Tabo in traffic. Knocked away from behind, picked up by Luol. Deng, tough shot, and it won't go. And the rebound tapped out of there and picked up by Derrick. To Tabo, 16-footer.
a good hustle right there by Derrick Rose playing the passing lane. Was able to steal that ball. Find Tabo for a nice little 15-foot jump shot.
Dallas with a 15-point lead. Driving Terry, and boy, what a nice job inside. He knew the defender was on his back. He kind of hesitated, little head and shoulder fake, and then drew the foul.
Well, that's a situation right there. You got to make a choice. You're going to double team him. Here's a nice steal by Rose. Finds Cephalosha for a nice little 17-foot jump shot.
2 shots.
But again, on that high screen roll with the shot clock winding down.
There's a look at the Bulls bench just to the left as you look at the screen. Vinny is Bernie Bickerstaff, a veteran. You see him circled there, and there is Del Harris as Vinny walked in front of him. Who both, and Del, you talk about experience. I mean, he's been a head coach at the Lakers and Milwaukee. And he was Don Nelson's #1 assistant in Dallas during a lot of these glory years that we've talked about for the Dallas Mavericks. 60-44 and a 20-second timeout taken by the Mavericks.
Well, that's a lot of knowledge on the bench.
And then you throw in Bob Osipka, who has been known around the league as he's not one of these guys because he's never had a head job that a lot of people know his name, but he's considered one of the top professional NBA assistants in the league. And so you've got Del Harris, Bernie Bickerstaff, who's been a head coach, been a general manager, been in the front office with several teams. And that's going to be a benefit to Vinny as we move forward. And again, without trying to sugarcoat anything, you just kind of, this is a team that we said right at the top, you're going to have to be a little bit patient with. You have a young lead guard in Derrick Rose that you and I think a lot of other people think is going to be one of the league's very best as he develops. And you have a new head coach who's kind of trying to feel his way here during the preseason.
Well, again, when you have a veteran team like Dallas, this is where preseason really is not important. But a team like the Bulls,
coached Dallas.
Well, exactly. Anybody can coach Dallas because they got a veteran-laden team. But if you look at this Bulls team, preseason is very important. You got a young point guard and a young coach. They're trying to find their identity. We'll see what they do.
Well, they took the 20, the Bulls did, trying to set up a player's Rose a drive, and there's an offensive foul, and he'll learn from that. So Vinny with the 20 wanted to run a set play out of the 20-second timeout. Just 6 7/10 seconds left until halftime. Devin George to Berea. Comes to Derrick Rose, runs him into the back screen, drives, got a shot up, tipped up follow is good by Bass. And that'll do it for the first half. 62-44. The Dallas Mavericks as Brandon Bass pounded one home to end the first half. Mavericks on top. Stay with it.
It looked like you guys were getting some good looks, just not able to knock the shots down while Dallas can't miss. What would you like to see more from your team in the second half?
Well, we're disappointed both offensively and defensively. They're killing us in transition. They're up the floor, but part of it is our offense, our lack of execution offensively, turning the ball over, and the turnovers are putting them into a fast break and transition game, and that's their strength. So what Coach stressed at halftime is let's execute better, let's be more patient offensively, and run our plays and get better shots. Then we can we score and put the ball in the basket, we'll get back on defense and be able to keep them out of the paint. But they're killing us in the paint, they're killing us on the fast breaks, and we just got to slow things down, execute our offense a lot better.
Okay, Bob, good luck to you in that second half.
Thank you.
Neil, Stacey, let's send it back to you.
Now a couple of possessions into the second half. Bulls turned the ball over on their first possession. Dallas came down. Terry missed a shot, but they offensive rebounded. Here's Bass, who starts the second half inside, and that's Howard who has it poked away. So it's Howard and Bass, Dampier, Nowitzki, and Jason Terry. So a little different lineup to start the second half, and with the lead, Carlisle can afford to experiment just a little bit.
Well, you see Bass now move down to the power forward spot. Dampier in the center, so.
And loose ball foul on off the missed shot by Terry, and that's Nowitzki.
Well, now, Neil, you see Dallas has gotten bigger, too, now. He's got 4 frontline players now. They really present a size problem for the Bulls.
Derrick, it's a turn, fires the 15-footer, missed it, and Nowitzki hardly had to jump for the rebound. Dumped ahead to Terry. Terry skidded to a stop to Nowitzki. Deck baseline, and Dampier is hammered as he went up. Oh, Dampier to the free throw line. And, you know, you're right. I mean, Carlisle's going to have some, he's going to be able to be kind of versatile with his lineup. He can go big, he can go smaller. And he's got a couple of guys, Terry and Bass in particular, that can play a couple of different positions, and Nowitzki even can play a couple of different positions.
Well, I mean, you look where they got Josh Howard right now. He is the 2 guard in this lineup. You got Dirk Nowitzki as your 4, Dampier your 5, Bass as your small forward, and Terry as your point. So you've gotten bigger in the front line and more versatile now, because now you can post up a Josh Howard on Kurt. There's Kurt guarding right now down on the half-court end, and let's see if they take advantage of it.
Dampier makes 1 of 2. And it's 63-44 as the Bulls bring it to the front court. Rose, gun left to Dang, and then bounce to Gooden, back to Luol. Jumper good. Luol starting to loosen up a little bit. Made his last jumper before halftime and makes his first here in the third. Howard. Chicago out back, and it's poked away off of Terry and into the backcourt, and that'll be a violation. And turned back over to the Bulls.
That's good defense by Derrick Rose right there, playing the passing lane, using his quickness to get that ball to tip out from Jason Terry.
There's Dang. Back to Tyrus, and then back to Dang again. Flip to Gooden. Stripped away and stolen by Josh Howard. Howard backs down on Heinrich, spins him to the baseline, and then back out to Dampier. Still trying to post up Howard, and they bounce it into him and threw it away. Sometimes you try to force the issue, and they should have just gone the other direction, swung that ball.
Well, you got Eric Dampier trying to make that pass. Really not known for his passing. Got a rebound and shot blocker.
Here's Rose, a little jumper from 15 feet is good. Derrick Rose just kind of skipped to the 17-foot mark and then drained it.
Well, he has so much elevation, he was able to rise above Jason Terry and get that shot off.
Nowitzki skips a pass all the way across the pass, fires the jumper, missed that, and rebound Gooden. Ahead to Dang. Dang waits for Derrick Rose. Nice pass back to Dang. He smashes in the jumper.
And see right there, you see Derrick Rose, what he's going to bring to this team. He has his eyes up the floor all the time, knowing where everybody is on the floor, makes the right passes.
And he cuts the lead to 13. Back right after this. Back with the Bulls. Ask for tickets to happiness at 312-455-4000. And there's a happy man. It's too bad we don't. That's Sam Nang, actually. That is Bill Smith, the Bulls team photographer's young son. And actually, it's too bad we don't have a shot of my ex-partner. Messy divorce, too, with Bill Wennington, who was also stuffing his face.
Well, he's over there grubbing.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Here's Nowitzki. Hangs in the air from 15 and short. And the rebound saved. Or they tried to save it, did Gooden, and it's out of bounds. There
he is right there.
Bill Wennington, look at this. Watch him try to eat that. Disgusting.
Oh, my goodness. They look at him. Just look at him.
That thing was about 4 stories high about 30 seconds ago.
He had 3 scoops.
I know. Put one in his pocket, save it for later. He thinks that's a frozen. There's a steal, and then Tyrus had it stolen right back. Nowitzki. Terry thought about it, didn't. Bass thinks about it and does, and misses short. Here comes Tyrus Thomas. to Derrick Rose. Rose to his right, threads it nicely to Gooden. Wide open 18-footer. Yes, sir.
Again, good vision by Derrick Rose. Realized that the pick wasn't going to be there. He made a nice pass to Drew Gooden right there for a nice little 15-foot jump shot.
Nowitzki. Now Terry. And the whistle. And it's going to be off the ball, and it's going to go against Dallas, and that's on Josh Howard. And there is Bill Wennington's new partner, Chuck Swirsky. Is he playing in a band?
I don't know. It looks like
he's got the thing. He's got the saxophone thing there.
Exactly. He's like got the saxophone thing going on right there.
Maybe he's got a band that's
Smooth Chuck Swirsky.
Derrick Rose back to Luol. Slices in. Shot up and go off the glass. And the Bulls on a big-time run now have sliced the lead to 63-54, so they're inside of double digits.
We're starting to get a little bit more continuity on their offense. Setting some screens, getting guys open. A little bit more flow here in the third quarter.
Dampier given plenty of ground. Didn't even look at the basket. Drop down to Howard against Heinrich. Oh, what a move, but then he lost the handle on it. Ball loose, picked up by Gooden, and a foul against Dallas. That's on Bass.
Here it is, Derrick Rose right here. Nice dribble weave right there, finds Lou. Drives straight to the basket over Brandon Bass, finishes with the right hand. But again, all set up by dribble penetration right there by Derrick Rose. And the nice finish by Lou.
Rose against Terry to Heinrich. Back to Rose. 18-footer. Yes, again. Rose knocked that down. And Derrick has acquitted himself well. Rose with 8 points, 5 assists. Nowitzki. Howard. Now the drive and the fall-away jumper. That is good. And that's Green who knocked that down.
Real Green.
Yeah,
he's
been on a lot of teams. He is really a talent, but has never fulfilled it. Here's Thomas from outside. No, and the rebound, Dampier.
He was a slam dunk champion a few seasons ago.
Here's Green, whipped out to Nowitzki. 18-footer, that's good. Boy, when he has just a little opening to line it up, he's going to knock it down. And now a timeout by Benny Del Negro. 67-56. The Mavericks back with a double-digit lead with 6:27 left to play in the third quarter.
Points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds.
And the Bulls go to work. Out of the timeout, Rose to Heinrich. Lifts a 20-footer. That spins out, and the rebound, Gooden fighting for it and tapped it out of bounds. Tried to tip it to himself in the corner, and then couldn't track it down.
It's good to see Drew Gooden being active on the boards. It always seems like he gets his hands on a lot of offensive rebounds.
And he leads the Bulls in rebounding. Actually, he's the leading rebounder in the game with 7. Have not seen Jason Kidd here in the second half. Nowitzki.
You probably won't.
Green missed the shot, and then Josh Howard able to come up with the ball, and he's run over inadvertently by Gooden. Look at Jason Kidd on the bench. Had 13, count them, 13 triple doubles last year. People said he had a bad year.
I'll tell you, you're going to probably see a lot more this year with the team that he's on and understanding a new system with Carlisle. And Carlisle, I think, is going to allow him to play and do the things that's made him one of the best guards in the NBA over the last 10 years.
Only Oscar Robertson and Magic have more triple doubles. Be a good guy for Derrick, and I think Derrick's going to be that kind of player that play with that speed and intensity that the kid has played with his whole career. In pretty good company. There aren't many guys that handle it like Rose can at full speed. Dang, he missed the jumper, but the rebound, Tyrus. Into the lane, Rose back out to Gooden. Gooden, a step back, 18-footer, no, and a late foul on Dampier, and a silly foul.
Well, the one thing I like about Derrick Rose is he's a point guard first. You see a lot of these point guards come into the league, they're more offensive minded. And what I've seen tonight out of Derrick Rose is he has a great feel for the game. He never looks like he's under duress, and he plays under control, and he knows where the players are on the floor and who needs to take the shot.
I guess in adjunct to that would be that you see guys like Kidd or way before your time, Magic Johnson. Well, not so far before your time, Magic Johnson, and Chris Paul today, Deron Williams. They have that ability that you just talked about, but they also have an ability to sense when they need to all of a sudden become offensive-minded themselves.
And I think you'll see that with Derrick Rose as he gets more familiar with the players on his team and the situations that arise when he has the ball in his hands. Right now, he's just playing within the flow. He's just out there playing and having fun and really just trying to initiate the offense and get everybody involved.
It's 70-58. The Mavericks. Here comes Aaron Gray into the game. Gooden will sit down. And again, a good rebounding night. 11 points and 7 rebounds for Drew Gooden. Dang. To Rose and then back to the wall, trying to post at the baseline on the right side, and a push foul. And that's on Green.
You know, the whole thing, too, is Derrick Rose, as you can see, he's a leader by example. He's not very vocal, but you can tell that he's under control.
There he is, just kind of pogo-sticked his way down the lane on the right side and then banked it home.
And he has the ability to take over games. And we saw it last year in Memphis. You saw it here in Chicago when he was at senior in high school. He has the ability to take over a game, but he is a true point guard.
Here is Howard missing, and I'll tell you in a minute who I liken him to as the ball is deflected out, and here he comes again. Rose skipped across but thrown away. Rare miscue, and here's Green flying in and scoops it home. He can leap. Heinrich hurries the other way. Gang drop against Jop. No, and a foul call. That'll be on Zana Jop.
And here he is right here. Watch Derrick Rose right there as he just goes straight to the basket. And again, he brings that element because he's so explosive. He can get to the basket anytime he wants.
And you know who I'm going to liken him to? A young Andre Miller who did the same thing. He'd be playing along just like a pure point guard, and all of a sudden it'd be a close game, and the next thing you know, he'd reel off like 11 straight points. We saw Chris Paul do the same thing to the Bulls in New Orleans a couple of years ago.
Just steady, and they really know how to play the game. And for a young player who just turned 20 years old to have a feel for the game. Now, this is his first preseason game. You don't want to get too excited because you understand he's still a rookie, but you've got to be excited for what you've seen out of him tonight.
There's Green, 6 little jumpers. He just faded his way to the right side. 74-62, 4:05 left to play in the third period. A 12-point Maverick lead. Derrick Rose off the Nocioni screen. Back to Noach. Fake, drive, stumbles down the lane, and there's going to be a late whistle and a foul. And it was on the floor, I believe. This will not be shooting. It'll be on the side. And a 20-second timeout taken by Rick Carlisle as he wants to talk it over with his troops. And yeah, I would agree with you, Stacy, that you don't want to put too much of a burden on the young rookie, but he's going to be a good one. Bulls fans, you can buy great seats from season ticket holders through Bulls Ticket Exchange at bulls.com. Yeah. It's safe, fast, and official. Tickets can be emailed right to your home. Visit bulls.com today and click on bullsticketexchange.com. There you go.
I'm getting the hang of it, Neil. I'm telling you, it's going to be like Gladys Knight and the Pips.
I know it. You know? You're
Gladys Knight, and I'll be the Pips.
I won't make you do that every night. I just want to see if you were paying any attention to anything I said.
You know what, Neil?
And it's pretty obvious that you're not until I, hit you.
You hit me with an elbow.
Yeah, and then you pay attention.
But we're going to be a good team.
Tyrus Thomas Just down to our left, and he's got the largest heating pad I've ever seen wrapped around him. It would appear that Tyrus is not going to see action in the second half.
Well, it looks like he's got a bed strapped to his back. Maybe he can just lay down on his back and just go to sleep.
Yeah. Well, now they changed their minds. The one official overruled the other, and Nocioni is going to get to the free throw line.
Again, speaking of Derrick Rose, it's going to be an adjustment period for the Bulls players who were here last year to get used to playing with a guard like Derrick Rose. And I think once they realize that he can make their job easier, they're going to find that they're going to get a lot of easier shots.
Larry Hughes trying to shut down Green. Josh Howard, fake and drive, and then lifts a 15-foot jumper on the rim, bounced it in.
So see, Dallas is a typical Western Conference team where you'll see a ton of pick and rolls. When they can't get a shot, they go right to that two-man game where they can get whatever they want out of it. They got so many matchup problems out there.
Nocioni. Hands to Derrick Rose, back to Noach. Flip to Larry Hughes. Dang into the lane, shot clock winding, and he missed it on the run. Rebound, stabbed at and raked away by Jop. Berea trailer down the lane, and the left-hand shot will not go, but the foul is on Andres Nocioni, and James Singleton will get to the free throw line.
Jawan Smith checks in for Dallas.
Well, Singleton to the free throw line, as Carlisle has reached relatively deep into his bench. Jawan Smith checks into the game as Singleton makes the first, and here is our Southwest high-flying dunk, and watch Bass on this play. And
well, I'm gonna tell you right there, that's a big-time dunk. But the one that he had after that one, where he dunked on the whole team,
yeah, woohoo! Took everybody right up with him, and then dunked him. Singleton misses the second. Andres the rebound. Rose for Cephalosha. Hughes, hard screen, and then back to Noach, and then bounced it through the legs of Tabo. On the turnover, Dallas gets it back. 77-62. Inside Singleton, what a pass from Berea.
Well, that right there, you just saw a little back screen right there. Noach got caught with the back screen. Singleton rolls to the basket, wide open.
Rose to Hughes, that will go, tipping Gray, and a loose ball foul. Aaron Gray over the back. A walk to the other end.
Keep an eye on Noach right here, and watch this back screen. Go ahead and roll it. He gets caught right here. Now freeze it. As he goes here, this ball goes right there back door for an easy layup because he got caught on the back screen. Go ahead and roll it. Easy basket right there for Singleton. And Aaron Gray's got to do a better job of talking to Noach and letting him know that the back screen is there. And time the lane, hitting that guy, not letting Singleton get to the basket that easy.
Jop misses the first. Derrick Rose comes out. And Jop makes the second. Derrick Rose leaves the game. 4 for 9 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 5 assists to go with his 10 points. Cephalosha. Not a good pass from Washington, and it's Darius Washington. You got Washington and Hughes and Cephalosha with Nocioni and Aaron Gray.
Larry Hughes, 2 shots.
Well, this is a good opportunity for Cephalosha to really, take advantage of these minutes because, again, once Ben Gordon comes back, you got that log jam at that 2-guard spot. This gives him a chance to try to work his way into the lineup.
Hughes, second free throw in the air and good. Bulls trying to pressure up the floor. Green against Tabo. Jop against Gray, just taken away by Darius Washington. He'll run into the layup. Good.
Good defense by Darius Washington right there, playing the passing lane. And one thing you don't want your big man to have to dribble the ball. You realize Jop cannot handle the ball, just took it from him.
80-66. Korea for Jop, wheels and deals and missed the spinning hook, and then the rebound to Singleton. Back out to Green. He drives the kick. Short, bouncing no. Rebound Tabo. Washington backed it away as he waited for his teammates to run into the offense. Now Washington again. Angled right. Noach top on the way, missed it, and the rebound. Yanked down by Jop to Berea. Lead pass ahead. Green slides in and missed the little runner. Tabo, high screen.
Nice screen right there by Aaron Gray to free Tabo for that little nice little 15-foot jump shot.
A 12-point difference in this game. 25 seconds left to play in the third. Smith back out to Berea. He darts baseline and the layup is good. That cannot happen.
No, that can't happen right there. Berea is one of the smallest guys on the court. He's just able to get to the basket at will. And that's where you got to, as Aaron Gray, his second year now, that's where you got to come over and put him on his butt.
Juwan Smith trying to defend Hughes as he moved in, and Hughes will get back to the free throw line.
The foul is on Juwan Smith.
You've got to see where the ball is and where the help's going to come from. You don't want to turn your head and allow Berea, who's the smallest guy on the floor, to get to the basket like he just did.
Larry Hughes settles himself in. Hughes off the bench, 18 minutes so far tonight. And he makes the first free throw. Hughes with 10 points in the game. He's 8 of 9 from the free throw line, so he's gotten there enough. Just 1 of 6 from the field. He does have 5 rebounds. All 5 came back in the first half. Hughes carries the second. 11 in the game. Dang leads the Bulls in scoring with 14. Berea in a hurry. Throws one. Missed it off the heel of the rim. So we have played 3 quarters here at the United Center. The Mavericks 82. The Bulls. Roger Powell Jr. along with Darius Washington, Tabo Cephalosha, Aaron Gray, and Larry Hughes for the Bulls. And Dallas likewise deep into their bench. Jop is out there.
Fighting Illini, Roger Powell.
Yes, he is. I'm going to tell you something that will really date me in a minute, Stacy. Jop running down the lane. That's rejected. An offensive foul.
Roger Powell right on cue.
Yeah, stood his ground. How about this? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
When I first got into broadcasting, doing play-by-play, I was actually working downstate in Illinois. I actually did Roger Powell, this Roger Powell Jr., his father's high school games when he was at Joliet Central. How about that?
What year was
and I'll
that?
tell you what, he was a big-time shooter in high school, his father, all time. He had range like NBA range.
So he was open to send the guys again.
And he could flat score it.
What year was that?
That would have been like around in the early 70s.
Wow.
Because I went to Philadelphia to the NBA in 76, so it would have been somewhere between 71 and 76, somewhere in there.
Wow. I think I was like 3 years old. I think I was like 3 years old back then, Neil. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I used to have to sit and listen to Johnny's old stories when he was, went to a tea party with Dr.
I wasn't
Naismith.
trying to tell you a story. I was just making a comment that it makes
okay. Ben Franklin, Johnny used to tell me about Ben Franklin and flying a kite and electricity, and now I'm listening to you tell me about 1970.
84, 70. Were you a large baby?
Dallas ball.
No. No, it wasn't, Neil.
All right.
But you know what, though? I have to ask my mom then.
Well, I'm going to have to. Don't worry, I'll ask. I'll find out. I'm going to get that info.
When we go to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're big there.
Oh, like the governor, babe.
Green to drive and a dish to Singleton. He had it blocked away. Now the back end turns and left it short. Did Rhodes, and it's going to belong to the Bulls. Been one of those odd games. Had a lot of flow for Dallas in the early going. And they kind of imposed their will on the Bulls. And then the Bulls had a little bit of flow early in the third quarter. Forced Rick Carlisle to get a timeout as they got it inside of double digits, the lead. And Dallas started to open it up again.
Well, if you're Rick Carlisle, you really like the way your veterans played.
There's Washington, and he drains one with 2 on the shot clock, and that's a 3. The home run ball by Washington just beat the shot clock. Not a good possession, but a bailout 3 by Washington.
Rhodes can score.
Rhodes to Smith. That's off target. And the rebound ripped away by Gray. Washington, now Powell, and he can shoot it. That's short. And Berea, the rebound. Puts way ahead with driving Green. Shoulder to Rhodes. To Smith. Berea wants to direct some traffic to Green, and he just pounded it down. My gosh, does he get up in the air?
Like a pogo stick.
Yeah.
Well, you saw that coming. Berea saw him go back door.
And there's a hold off the ball. That's Green.
Here it is, Darius Washington. Shot clock winding down. Goes off a little two-man game. And buries a three-point shot.
To 13 points. Dallas lead. Mavericks trying to go 2-0 in the preseason. Powell to his right. Washington. Into the lane. Outside Powell. Nope. And the rebound offensive board. Back up, and no foul on the play, but
Elton Brown right there.
Elton Brown did a nice job of offensive rebounding the ball, and then had it slapped away out of bounds.
Well, this is important time for the Bulls reserves right here to try to make an impression on the Bulls coaching staff.
Outside, the long jumper, no, but Aaron Gray rescues him with another offensive board. Pump fake, duck in, got it. That was a terrific move, up and under.
Well, right there, no indecision. You got the ball, went straight to the basket.
There's Berea driving, and that ball tipped off the front of the rim. Ripped away and loose, picked up by Darius Washington. Washington down the lane, and he's taken down by Green.
The foul called on James Singleton is second.
Singleton, the rule, committed the foul on Washington's way in. 8:36 left to play for your game. It's 86-75. Yeah, there you go. In the little drop-in that we were going to read, I saw you trying to get a peek at it.
Well, as you know, this is our maiden voyage.
It is our maiden voyage.
So we're filling each other out. You can get your hand off my leg, but we're filling each other out, and we're going to have some fun.
There you go. At the free throw line, Darius Washington fouled by Singleton, not Green. Green actually got him after the initial foul. Here's Washington missing the first. Elton Brown in the game along with Roger Powell. Demetrius Washington, Coxon delivers and made that one.
Well, again, if you're one of these reserve players out here, you're really trying to make a statement for the Bulls coaching staff and play hard.
Derrick to his right, Singleton. Hand off at the top of the key. The jumper up and good by Jawan Smith. 88-76. When the Bulls get everybody healthy, it's going to be, as Aaron Gray spins nicely down, little floater. Kind of shot it on the way up.
Well, he had the mismatch right there. As you see, he just backed him down and went right over the top of him.
He's got a decided height advantage right now. There's Green. Luke to Berea. Berea bounced inside. The shot up, no good, and a block foul. As Brown fouls Rhodes on his way in. Charles Rhodes. Rhodes makes the first. Makes the second. And Darius Washington will push it up. What I was going to make, Stacey, is that it's going to be difficult, I think, for some of these guys who came to training camp. Powell had it stripped away, and their Singleton runs the other way, to make this team just because of the makeup of it. Let's you always have an injury or something, though, and you want to be ready in case that happens.
Well, the good thing is that when you're out here playing, you know that you're playing another team, and they have scouts out here watching the game.
No, absolutely.
So you're auditioning for other teams as well as trying to make this team, but also trying to make a good impression on the Bulls. As we saw last year, Nichols coming up and coming back and forth and playing and getting an opportunity. So you never know.
There were a lot of people that knew who Aaron Gray was, but wondered whether or not he would get any time whatsoever, and he played well enough early on, and then, as you pointed out, played extremely well late in the season. And so you got to be ready when the opportunity presents itself. You have X number of guys under contract, and barring an injury and who knows what might come across the waiver wire as well. Some other team may release a guy who you like.
Well, again, with the new coach, the whole thing and the way the season ended last year with the expectations being so high, you're coming in with a clean slate right now with Vinny Del Negro and his staff. So, a guy like Aaron Gray, who didn't play a lot for maybe Scott Skiles or Tabos Faloshu, who didn't play a lot under Scott Skiles but picked it up at the end, can make an impression on this new coaching staff and figure into the rotation.
Washington does a little dance out front and then drove it and drew the foul. The Bulls will play again over in Fort Wayne, Indiana, against the Indiana Pacers. Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. And we will not be broadcasting that game. I'll give you the broadcast schedule here coming up in a moment. First, a timeout. It's 92-80. The Mavericks by 12 with Sale. And thank you, Johnny Kerr, who will be a big part of our broadcast as we move forward. And I started to mention the upcoming schedule. They play the Pacers over in Allen County Coliseum in Fort Wayne tomorrow. And that game will not be broadcast. But then Minnesota back here on the 14th on Comcast Sportsnet. And Stacy and I will have the broadcast for you. And then back-to-back, Utah. Two double dose of Jerry Sloan and Darren Williams and Boozer and company from the Assembly Hall in Champaign. And that's on Comcast Sportsnet. And then back here at the United Center the next night, the 18th, against Utah again on WGN. So A lot of stuff coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, and then 3 more games after that. Dallas, Minnesota, and Milwaukee. So we're going to see some pretty good basketball teams.
And good, as the season goes along in this preseason, you'll get a chance to really get his rotation set going into the regular season. And hopefully Ben Gordon is back from that hurt toe.
And hopefully they'll have a little more size, because obviously you would have Joakim Noah back as well. And here's a look at that schedule we were talking about. Minnesota on Comcast Sportsnet. And the Jazz in a back-to-back affair down at the Assembly Hall. Comcast Sportsnet. And I agree with you, Stacy. I think, what you take out of this game, I thought Johnny made some valid points that, the points in the paint disturbing. That disturbed you when you saw the number. And so there were some things that you can go back to school and work on. As I said, there's a pass that Aaron Gray never saw it coming, bounced off his head. And the drive, Smith taken away by Washington. Darius Washington running in, play up, no, and then Aaron Gray had it, and it's batted out of bounds.
And then we both know that they're going to get better with the defense in the interior. Here's Darius Washington right there getting to the basket. Doesn't finish, but Aaron right there gets it blocked. They've got to really get better at closing down the driving lanes. Last year you had a problem at the three-point line, not being able to close out on three-point shooter. Good strong move right there.
Boy, that's a terrific spin and finish by Aaron Gray. Fouled as well, and he'll go to the line to try to capitalize on a three-point play. And yeah, I think what we were saying and what Johnny was saying, you saw some flashes of improvement. You had to be impressed. I thought, Luol came out, and once he got on track, got it going just a little bit. Gooden had a solid game with his rebounding early on, and I thought Derrick Rose played, very confidently and very much under control in his debut here in the United Center. And matched up, by the way, in the first half with a future Hall of Famer in Jason Kidd. So.
And then, not to mention, he came out in the second half and went against Jason Terry, who's a bona fide big-time guard in the NBA. So I thought he did extremely well, and I think they're going to get better. And, again, they have to find themselves. They got to find, who the players are going to be on this team, what their roles are going to be. And I think that's where you define it through preseason.
And that's why we made the point early on that these games were maybe way more important to a team like the Bulls than they are to a team like Dallas. Although, give Dallas credit, they've got their head coach, so they're going to do some things differently. And one of those, as Stacy touched on, is he'll probably take the bridle off of Jason Kidd a little bit, let him kind of create for others.
My thing with Dallas, when you look at them, they've got 3 bona fide all-stars. You got Kidd, you got Nowitzki, and you got Josh Howard. And you got Jason Terry coming off the bench. And we didn't even see Stackhouse tonight. So, they've got some really quality players in depth. And, they're a team to be reckoned with. And I think when you look at Rick Carlisle and what he's done throughout his career, he's always been a winner.
Yeah, he has. He's gotten his teams to the postseason, and maybe a short shelf life, maybe not, but he's got the job in Dallas right now.
Turnover. Carrying the ball. Chicago ball.
And the Bulls are going to get the ball back after the turnover. It's 97-87, a 10-point lead for Dallas with 4:40 left in the game.
But if you're Vinny Del Negro, you got to be encouraged the way Aaron Gray played. And granted, he's playing against their backup. Look at that move right there.
That's his third really solid move in about the last 2 minutes.
And he's been hurt, a little nicked up in training camp with the ankle injury, so he hasn't been able to get out on the floor as much as he wanted to. But you see him tonight. Nice spin move right there. And if he can give them some kind of low post presence, if it's 20 minutes a night and give them some kind of post-up presence, it's going to help them tremendously.
Yeah, because one thing that has been difficult for this team, it was last year and it will be again this year, is who's going to score down low.
I think you got Drew Gooden, but can he consistently do it
and he's
against bigger guys?
I think Drew is going to be a double-double guy. But, I mean, a lot of his points are not going to necessarily come on post-ups. He's got range that he can step out and make shots. He's going to score, I think, in a variety of ways. But I think you're right. You need a guy like Aaron Gray you can put down on the block and say, you know, at least get to the free throw line.
I think you're going to see Luol Deng posting up on the block, trying to get him some post-up opportunities. You know, guys are going to have to step up. Tyrese Thomas is going to have to, try to establish some kind of post game. But right now, they're small. And, Noah and Gray can give him something that can help him out tremendously with their size.
And a timeout taken with 4:16 left. It's going to be a 20-second, I believe, unless they turn it into a full. They do. Oh, a full timeout. It's 97-89. Dallas leading the Bulls. We'll have the remainder of the game right after this timeout. Game, and we never really mentioned it again, is the Bulls last year had a habit of kind of settling for jump shots, a perimeter game, and went away from trying to get anything inside, and that hurt them in a lot of games. And we saw a little bit of that early in this game.
Well, they're going to have to really find ways to get some dribble penetration. And you can see right now with Vinny, he's got a little Phoenix offense in him. He's got a little of that San Antonio. He's in both those systems. So you're going to see a little bit of, I think, both of those plays, both of those teams' types of plays. I think he wants to run a little bit like Phoenix, but also have the flexibility to run a half-court set like you do in San Antonio with Tony Parker handling the ball and going off screen rolls.
And the free throws upcoming. And in the air and making the first to make it 98-89 with 3:52 left. Rhodes, 3 points in the game, and now 4. Aaron Gray with 13 points to go along with 8 rebounds.
That's a solid night for Aaron.
Yeah, Cephalosha. Now Washington. Nice pass. Away from Brown. Here comes Dallas on the run. Outside Green for 3. Nope. That's Washington. Boy, he's not afraid to take it into traffic. He got hammered to the deck, and he'll shoot free throws.
One thing about Derrick, he's not going to settle for a jump shot. He gets the ball in transition, gets his eyes up the floor, sees the defense not back, and just attacks. He's living on the free throw line tonight.
8 points in the game. 2 of 4 from the field. 3 of 4 from the line, and misses that one in just 11 minutes.
Well, the one thing is interesting to see this year is with the returning players and the way this season was last year, how they respond. And I know they all have a lot of pride. They know they were much better than they were last year. To come back and see how they start off this season.
There's Terry outside the green, and he pokes in a jumper. Now the Bulls will be in a back-to-back situation because they play again tomorrow night over in Indiana. And I know John Paxson kind of likes that because it gives you the feel of the regular season. And plus, you get some, games, a number of games out of the way and give you some practice time.
I mean, it's good for young players like Derrick Rose to see how he responds to a back-to-back.
There's the block as he sailed by. And it's going to be out of bounds to the Bulls. Washington off the screen by Gray. Bounced right back to the big fella trying to hook it up and drew a foul again. nice job of holding the screen and then rolling right down the lane.
And right now you see, Aaron is really playing with some energy out there and really showing some versatility coming off that screen roll and being able to catch the ball and be able to go up strong with it and get to the foul line.
Aaron Gray draws has drawn the Bulls to within 10 at 101-91, and he missed that one in the rebound. Taken down by Dallas. The Mavericks. Perry. A little runner across the lane came up short. On the run. That was Gadsden who missed that runner outside. Tucker poured in by Demetrius Nichols.
And that's one thing he does. He can shoot the basketball. Also, these guys can shoot.
Outside, lob for Green, and he couldn't get to it. It hit the rim and caromed away. Washington the other way with under 2 to play. Reverses one play.
Woo, Darius Washington putting on a show.
Washington with 11. And a timeout by Rick Carlisle. Suddenly it's a 6-point game. 101-95 with 1:53 left to play for your game. Now, Carlisle, this team has played with the lead all night long, and yeah, it's just a preseason game. No, it doesn't count in the standings, but he still wants to win it. And he wants to see his young kids and his bench players, more importantly, wants to see them win it.
Well, exactly. And if you're Vinny Del Negro, you're encouraged by the way these young players have come off the bench. Darius Washington's come out with energy, and they played well. Demetrius Nichols came in giving some buckets. You got 2 veterans out there in Cephalosha and Aaron Gray giving some big help.
Yeah, Gray, the offensive end has been big. Here's a jumper by Green. That won't go. The rebound run down by Dallas. It's off of Dallas and out of bounds to the Bulls.
Good hustle right there by Darius Washington. Never giving up on the play.
Well, Washington has been big. Gray's been big. Tabo's defense has been stifling. We got Roger Powell out there and Demetrius Nichols. And now a 20-second timeout taken by Vinny Del Negro. We'll stay here and remind you once again that Stacy and I are back with you on the 14th as Minnesota makes a house call. Be interesting to see that team. Indiana and Milwaukee are the only 2 Eastern Conference teams we're going to see during the preseason. And I'm not going to see Indiana. Maybe you are if you're going to drive over to Fort Wayne tomorrow.
I just might do that. Me and my friend Bill Winnington. Since you don't want to go.
You and your friend Bill Winnington.
Yes.
You just look down at it. Never mind. I'll squash that.
Well, Bill's not going to go because it's a Friday night football game. So you can hang that one up.
Washington to Cephalosha. Tabo bounce down to Gray. Whistle. Offensive foul. That's going to be off the ball in the lane.
That was a late whistle right there.
Yeah, very.
Darius Washington had already set the screen and walked off. Here it is right here. Should have been a grab right there by Smith. As a late whistle.
Now Dallas brings it. They still lead by 6. Gadsden. A drive, and then the fall-away jumper left short. And the rebound hauled down by the Mavericks. Big rebound by Rhodes. Rhodes, little handoff. Gadsden trapped along the sideline, and a whistle. And out of bounds. That's going to belong to the Bulls. Offensive foul. They called him for hooking.
And now the Bulls come down and get a basket right here, and it makes things interesting.
I did not see the hook, but the official
a
was
little bit of a makeup call,
Yeah.
but late offensive foul on Darius Washington, the previous play.
Here's Nichols from outside. The long jumper won't go down, and the rebound to Dallas.
That would have been a big basket
would've.
right there.
48 seconds left. Cabo, pressure at the top. Down the lane, Gadsden out to Green for three. Kaboom, game over. Green buries that and extends the lead to 104-95, and a timeout taken by Benny Del Negro. 36 seconds left as Green makes a huge shot. A three from the left wing. 36. Well, the Bulls need to score quickly here. Darius Washington out of the Benny Del Negro timeout. A long three, and that's good. Well, he got the three right back, and it's a 6-point game. 104-98.
There's a little full court pressure now.
Cross court, and there's the foul in the backcourt on Darius Washington.
I'll tell you what, Darius Washington's come in and played extremely well. 4 out of 6, 14 points off the bench.
Couple of steals for Washington. And the free throw by Gadsden is good. And it's 105-98. Again, you're going to need a quick score if you want to give yourself any chance at all. He makes two. 106-98. Washington, gun to Tabo. Pump fake, and then his three. That won't go. Rebound. Dallas had it, lost it. Picked back up by Powell, and he is fouled. He'll get to the line with a clock stop at 14 and 6/10 left.
Fouls on Charles Rhodes, his third.
And that foul on Rhodes.
It was right here. Good hustle by Aaron
But you know what?
Gray.
Aaron Gray, great hustle. He actually batted that ball back up
Kept
where
that ball alive.
Powell could get it. Powell makes the first.
And again, you like the way they came out here in the second half and really turned it up on the defensive end and made some adjustments. They competed hard.
Second free throw good, and a whistle and a foul on Darius Washington in the backcourt.
Fouls on Darius Washington, his fourth penalty.
(106-100). Oh, back to the free throw line go the Mavericks. Trying to hang on here. And the first free throw rattled down by Smith. Second free throw in the air and good. And a timeout taken. And this is going to be a 20.
20-second timeout, Chicago.
With 13 and 8/10 seconds left, so.
Well, now you might ask why would Vinny be taking a timeout. This is, again, we go back to saying a young coach getting practice time in, making plays, designing plays on certain situations. And this is what you're seeing right now. This is a learning experience, not only for him, but these younger players.
Yeah, you see that often, and people, you're right, people will say, well, you know, the game essentially is over. Why did he take a timeout? Well, you might be in another game where it's not over, where you're only down 1 or 2 with 13 and 8/10 seconds left, and you want to have a play that you can run that you think will work. So you take the timeout in this game and
that's
see
what
what you can
preseason.
set up.
That's what preseason's all about. And they work on these plays during practice, and this is really the only time you actually can really do that in these certain situations.
There they get it in, and Tabo has a look, and the jumper's good. That's a 2 by Tabo.
Now we've seen that's 3 times they've scored out of a timeout, so that's really encouraging to see that he does have those little plays that he can draw up.
And then a foul in the backcourt with 9 2/10 left, 108-102. Yeah, it's a preseason game. In a sense, it's like practice. For example, did you know that your mic had not been on all night?
Who do you think I am? You think I'm some young rookie? You know, you might have got away with Bill Wennington on that one.
Oh, I would have.
But not the King, baby.
108-102. And the first free throw good, 109-102.
Gerald Green has quietly had a very strong game off the bench. 7-11 from the field, 17 points.
Yeah, and it has been quiet. He made that one big three that, in essence, iced the game for him. He makes 2 free throws here. And here's Washington from outside. That's short, and the rebound taken down by Dallas, and that'll do it. The game ends in the final 110 to 102.